And as the weeks went by, the numbers dwindled until there were 4 of us that met faithfully. And then we added Jason, who we call our new baby. We added our little brother. We added him towards the end of the group. But we met faithfully, and at the end of that journey, Miss Millie promised us an introduction to a publishing company. She didn't promise we would get published, but she did promise us an introduction. And the 4 of us flew out to Oklahoma, and we went and met with the publishing company with Miss Millie. So it was 4 writers and Miss Millie, and we went out there, and they gave us the grand tour, took us through, and they had their signage up, welcome new writers in action from Maryland, and we were all excited until we sat down with them, and they started talking to us like we were junior high schoolers, and giving us the 12-cent tour of the company, and trying to rush us out the door. And Miss Millie said, no, why don't you let them tell you about the books? And one of our new writers in action is a principal at a middle school out here in Harford County. And we knew that she was the best speaker of the group, so we let her go first. And after she talked about her book, it impressed them so much that they wanted the rest of us to talk about it. And they were gathering our manuscripts and asking for, flash drives or anything else we had the books on. And at the end of the journey, all 4 of us were offered contracts, which doesn't happen. Not at all. So it was truly a God thing. And for that, Miss Millie, we thank you for the opportunity. And then she has new writers in action, new writers in action, and one of them is Miss Alexis, and we have Raymond, and we have Jason. There were other additional new writers that are also a part of the new group that she has meeting and that she's working with to mentor. So she has done a wonderful job, and we appreciate that about you, Miss Millie, and we thank you, and we're glad to see Alexis taking the next step, and her book is out, so we're excited about that. But at this time, what I'd like to do is call up each of the new writers in action so they can give you a brief overview of give them about 1 minute so you get the elevator pitch. So we don't want to take up the time because it's not our book, it's her book that we want to concentrate on. So I'd like to welcome up Davida Carpenter. She's the author of Woman to Woman.
Hello, everybody. Alexis is probably really blessed she wasn't in the initial group because we didn't always play nice in the sandbox. Mama Millie had to scold us and get our hands, and it was a fun journey. One thing I want to add on to what Hattie said, Mama Millie came to us as a published author. She had already had her works. She actually had a movie out that was absolutely awesome. So we were just impressed to be in the room with the woman to see, okay, she has these books, she has DVDs out, and she's taking a little time for little old me, like really spending time and really encouraging her. I threw away 2 books just in the beginning, and I thought, sure, she was going to boot me out the program, but she didn't, and with the help of, I call them my sisters and brothers and writers in action, I wrote a book called Woman to Woman. I too am a human resources professional, and I have witnessed the undercutting and the not so nice playing in the sandbox between women in corporate America. And in witnessing that, just seeing it and hearing other women's story about why we don't support each other, why we, kind of undercut and backstab. And then between Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of New Jersey, the bad girl clubs and all that stuff, it was just too much. So, I said, I want to write a book that says, come on, sisters, we're supposed to support each other in everything. Whether I have my mommy hat on, or my sister hat on, or my corporate America hat on, whatever it is, we're supposed to support each other, whether it's helping with daycare, babysitting, in the workplace, doing everything. So that is my book. My book has a main character, Charlie, and she is very devoted to God. So there's days she come home from work and it's like, God, please don't make me strangle this woman at work. So she has very wonderful conversations with God, which to me in my life, that makes God real. Not this being that I can't talk to about my real problems, things I need to get through every day. So that's how that book is totally written. It's a journey, it's an experience. And I was really nurtured in doing that by being in the group. And I'm sure she got even more attention because she had the one-on-one versus we had that group thing. But again, I thank Mama Millie again. Alexis, welcome to all of us being published. I'm excited about your book. I'm excited about everything that you're about to encounter. And thank you for letting me be here. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, honey.
Was that a minute?
Yes.
I'm getting ready to get a little nervous.
I said, I need that look. All right, next up we have Jason Schuler, our baby brother from New Writers in Action. And
So my name is Jason, and I'm writing a fantasy novel. Now, before I go into detail about that, I want to say that this novel has been in my mind for years and years. When I was little, I loved creativity. I loved the idea of fantasy, exploring my own mind, and I wanted to turn it into something more than just that. I wanted to turn it into writing, but I didn't know what kind of writing. So I started with wanting to make video games because I loved that. And I would make little pamphlets and have my characters in them and turn the page. And eventually I had the idea to make a book. So I took the time to start writing up the pages, and one thing led to another, and I came up with this huge idea for a book, essentially about a main character who is on a journey to discover herself and her twin brother, who's also on the same journey. They're thrust into this world where they don't really belong. They are pretty much two people who don't really belong in the world, and they don't know why. A lot of fantasy elements exist. I can't really tell you all the details, but you'll have to wait for it, but it's essentially my passion. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm about. I have more books coming out soon. I want to write at least five coming. And I'm really excited for it, you know. I thank Miss Millie for taking me on. She, you know, she's really doing me a solid. You know, she gave me a lot of ideas and criticisms and all those good things that we went through, you know, in the time I've known her. And she's been great, and I really appreciate that. And Miss Alexis, I see what you went through when you went through your book, you know, and the idea you had, and here you are. I'm really glad to see you here and, you know, see what you're doing, and I'm really proud of you. And thank you for letting me be here, too.
Thank you.
And next up, we have Ramon. And Ramon, I'm sorry, I don't recall your last name, but he is one of our newest new writers in action, and he's working. And so if you would come up and talk about what you've got going on.
Jason and Ramon are in progress right now. They're in my classes now.
How you doing? My name is Ramon Lynk, and my book is about my life. Right now I'm just writing a book about my life. I met a random guy at work one day, and I told him I was moving to New York, and he asked me why. So I told him I was trying to be an actor. I told him that, you know, I came up homeless from 9 to 16, and I just wanted to make enough money to help my family. And I'm from East Baltimore, so a lot of young black kids where I'm from, like, they don't have a lot of opportunities. So I figured if I can get in that position in life to make, I don't want to have a lot of money, I want to make a lot of money so I can utilize it to help as many people as possible, starting with my family first. So basically I want to be able to educate them to, you know, show them, you know, there's more ways to make it out, you know, instead of like selling crack, selling drugs, robbing people, and, you know, stuff like that. So I told him I was moving to New York, and you know, I told him about my life, and he went home and he said he told his wife, and his wife said, you know, a lady just wrote a book talking about Mr. Vita, and so she gave me Mr. Vita's phone number. So I talked to Mr. Vita for like a couple of hours, and she told me about Miss Millie. So I talked to Miss Millie. And then I met Miss Millie, and Miss Millie, you know, I said like a couple sentences to you, whatever. And she was like, you know, whatever, you know, everything you're saying is so deep. And then she called Jason, and, you know, I just been focusing on this book because she thinks, you know, she had a lot of faith in my book. So I've just been focusing on that. And basically, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it up.
All right, and for those of you that just joined us, Miss Alexis will, after we finish the program, you'll be able to get books, to purchase your books and have them autographed. The books are $10.37 plus tax is $11. So it's all is $11. We take cash, we take credit, we'll take an IOU, we'll barter. The goal is to sell as many books as possible. But at this time, I want to turn it back over to Miss Millie, who's going to continue with the program.
Well, it's such an honor to listen to these young writers and these people that are so inspired. And I always tell everybody that there's a story in all of us. We all have a story to tell. It's just if we want to tell it. And I'm just very inspired about mentoring and being able to help people. I want to, before I introduce the lady of the hour, I want to introduce a young man that is on the horizon. I want to take a good look at this young man. He looks like a baby. I just met him today. We talked on the phone. His mother is my hairdresser and Miss Alexis' hairdresser. And she told us for years that she was struggling and really working hard to get him through college. And I can see in this young man that he appreciates his mother because he has gotten a good education. He's an artist. I understand that this young man was been drawing since he was a little bitty young fella, faces and pictures. He has the art gifted. He's gifted. And he went to college and finished and graduated. And I told his mother that I'm now a publisher and I will do my best to throw some work his way. Well, he is the designer and artist for this book. And I would like for him to come forward and I will stand next to him. His name is Devin Gay.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And we'll let you, I think that you are very good, I'll let you have the floor. I think she said 1 minute.
Well, for the illustrator, we'll give him 2.
Oh, give him 2, okay.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and simple. My name is Devin Gale. I'm from Bronx, New York. 23 years old. I was given the opportunity by Mama Millie through my mother, to illustrate this book, which has been a new venture for me, and I'm grateful for that, and to help Miss Alexis along with this production. And pretty much my story is just staying focused and true to what you love. Stay true to yourself. You can succeed in everything. So when I got the opportunity to do this, I figured it'd be, shed some new light on artwork that inspires me, because the type of artwork I want to make is universal. So pretty much when I was given the opportunity and the idea to come up with characters, with different characteristics, I just want to build with that. And hopefully, in the future, I know, we'll have more productions along the way. And, I want to thank Mama Millie and Miss Alexis for granting me this opportunity so I can share with y'all. And, for anybody that's willing to work and build something for themselves, I'm willing to work on that as well, just as well as myself. And I got a lot of new ventures on the way. I can't really say too much about it right now, but, eventually, I'll give everyone my information, you can look up the things that I got going on, and I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I also want to say that I am now helping mentor a new book called Molly, what is it, Molly going to Japan or traveling to Japan. It's a children's book. A lady asked me to do it. And she has an artist, and I have introduced her to Devin here, and he is now working on a sample piece of the characters to show her and try to steal the deal. So I'm really, really proud of him, and he also does book covers, and so if you're writing a book, you too, he is really willing to do a sample, and if you like it, you choose him, if not. And he's actually doing the cover of my next book called The Day We Left, which is going to be coming out in September. So, Devin, we're so proud to have you on board.
Thank you.
And he came all the way down here from New York just to salute Miss Alexis. And we're so proud of you.
Thanks.
And that's Miss Alexis' husband. Welcome, Rodney. Okay, we will move on. This is, I would say, the best part for me, to introduce the lady of the hour, my dear, dear friend. I met Alexis at this church. When she walked in the church, I knew that that was going to be my best friend. I knew it. I just walked up to her and I said, hello, Alexis. Hello, my name is Miss Millie, and I want to be your friend. And I think that she probably thought I was stalking her because every Sunday I would go and run and sit next to her. And so finally, I guess she said, you know what, I may as well let this lady be my friend. So, and her husband was looking at me like, what's that lady? And now he's my brother. So we are very dear friends, and Alexis came to me with this manuscript of her children. Now, I'm not going to say too much about it because I'm sure she's going to say how this book came about, but I am so proud of her because she came through this with a challenge of putting all this together and how she wanted to say the words to the book, and I just am so inspired by you. I'm inspired by this, by these toys that she went around, even to Aruba, to get, so that she could show what her book is all about, to inspire children. And I want to now take the time to say we're honored to have author Alexis Malone Lynk.
Thank you. I appreciate everyone who came today. I'm sorry we didn't get more children, but I'm so happy that two of my grandchildren came. That makes me very happy. This is Braden and Jabash.
Papa is here.
Oh, and my husband is here. Right. So I want to thank all the new writers for coming out and supporting me. And I thank all of you, church members and others also. What I had planned to do was to read the book, but these two already know the book. So I think, that you guys can just read it on your own. And I had different musical instruments. I tried to duplicate what was in the book. The book is basically about different musical instruments and what you should and shouldn't do with musical instruments. And so I had some games and things, rhythm games, that I had planned to do, but since we didn't get enough kids, I guess we won't be doing it. But the grandchildren have had fun coming up, playing with different instruments. So to keep things short, we'll just let everybody, oh, I did want to say how the book came about. Through babysitting for the grandkids, the idea came. And when I was with the middle grandson, who couldn't come today because he lives in New Jersey, he was showing me different instruments, and I asked him what they were. And then after he would tell me, he would say something funny like, after he would say, this is a clapper or castanet, and he'd say, who in the world would use a castanet to wash their hair? And he just kept coming up with funny things. So we just kind of made a game out of that. And then when I go to my other grandson's house, usually we pick up instruments and put on music, and we'll do a lot of dancing and marching, and everybody plays. So music is the in thing, especially for young kids. I don't think you ever meet a child that didn't enjoy using musical instruments in some kind of way. So that's how the book came about. And they are the Bone family. And so that's when I had Devin. When you see the pictures of them, they all have bones in their heads. That's because it's the Bone family. And so I plan to do other books of things that I'm concerned about with children. And so this gave me an idea. When New Writers in Action was going on with the original group, I couldn't really figure out what my niche would be. I knew I wasn't ready for novel writing, but it wasn't until later that it occurred to me I really enjoy doing children's books. So now I've decided that's my niche, at least for now. Who knows, maybe there's a novel in me somewhere. But for now, I'm focusing on children. So Yes.
I forgot to tell everybody that because of Alexis doing this for children in Harford County, I went to McDonald's last week and told them what we were getting ready to start doing even at this church with children. And we have a corporate sponsor. I'm going to be meeting with the corporation, and they're going to be, and today they actually gave me 50 hamburgers for the children for $30. So, and that was without me signing the contract, and it was like $100 for those burgers. So I just wanted all of you to know that, yes, and I made sure that they made them special for you guys. So that some of the kids have allergies, they can't have cheese and that, and they fixed them just the way I asked them. And I think that's wonderful. So children are very important to us here in Harford County. So we should do this again so that we can all get out and maybe we can borrow somebody's kid and just bring them in, because these chairs should be full and those hamburgers should be eaten by those kids. So we're going to do it again, Alexis, and we're going to make sure this time that we have all the kids so they can play with these wonderful toys that she picked out. And they showed us how much fun they had when they walked in, and we can imagine if we had. So I promised her that we're going to do this again, and we'll have those chairs full of kids. So the new riders and activities will come back again. Okay, so we got a new sponsor. Thank you.
So thank everyone for coming out, and now I want you to come and eat, and I will go sign books.
Yes. So,
And if you would, if you hadn't signed in, sign in, bring it forward, and we just like to thank you.
Oh, let me turn off the cameras.
Alexis